Hello and welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. I hope you're well, readers. A quick reminder that some of us, at least, will be at Dragonmeet on Saturday, the 2nd of December at the Novotel in Hammersmith in London. Big day of gaming. There'll be gaming tables, there'll be trade halls, and we will be around and about the venue. If you reach out to us on social media, you can find us on Twix at Billowing Hilltop. You can find us on Blue Sky or on Threads or on Instagram at Billowing Hilltop, or you can find us on Facebook, or you can email us at hello@billowinghilltop.com and we can try and meet up. Other than that, I have no news or information. I won't bore you about ratings and reviews. Let's push on with episode 168 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast, Into the Mystic. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
I'm here with the usual crowd. I'm with the amazing Graham, Grim,
Evening.
holographic Graham, easing himself into a specially adapted high chair. We've got Johnny,
Good evening.
flashing diodes of Paul,
Yes.
Lucas, master of spider science, and of course, my favourite player, Lord of Longleat.
But is he?
Socialist Aslan.
But is he?
We had an email. Shall we reach into Paul's capacious sack?
Yup.
And
Yes.
It's been
if
waiting
you'll
for you.
just use the tongs,
I've
please,
cleaned
the
it.
little towel that's provided. Lovely. It's from Guy Hunter. Hello, Guy.
Hi,
Hi,
Guy.
I saw your post about Octura Station. Good luck. That will mean absolutely nothing to any of you apart from Graham. It's a module for Traveller that I may adapt for Coriolis for our grand gathering of the Hilltop, which is only 3 weeks away. That much? I don't know.
About
2
that.
weeks away? Anyway,
Are you going to amend
he says
the system, the fighting system?
yes, we're going to tweak the combat system to make it a little bit gentler so that the combats might go on a bit longer.
Great.
Well, we don't want grind, right? We don't want things to go on and on and
No,
on.
but not
But we,
like
yeah.
scared to shoot anything because you'll die.
I think there's a couple of things. Graham made a couple of very sensible suggestions. There's also a kind of reloaded Coriolis combat PDF that Free League released that I've looked through, and I don't know that it actually answers our requirements so much, but it does improve the initiative system, effectively using the initiative system out of Alien. It simplifies stuff around hits and critical and damage and stuff. Again, I think the critical thing that, so if you excuse the phrase, is to make it so that it's a bit more difficult to inflict critical hits on people, because that's the thing that knocks you out. You're out of the combat, limping around, can't really do anything. There's two options there. Maybe we could add a dice pool, a bit like Shadowrun, or we do something whereby it's easier to reduce damage with armor. Anyway, that's where my brain is at the moment, but unlike Paul's brain, which is sitting there in that box. Back to Guy's email. Sorry, Guy, I got distracted. If it goes well, you could take a run at Pirates of Drainax after the Age of Worms. I would read a couple of 100 episodes about that, if only to hear Mike doing a Brian Blessed accent for King Oleb. I don't know, Guy, this isn't going to happen.
We'll see about that.
We got to the penultimate chapter of Age of Worms before lockdown. Okay, so this is more people are playing it. We started in 3.5. We migrated to Homebrew / Tales of Blades. That is a system I'm not familiar with. Graham, heard of it? Anyone? The decision point was when I looked at a 4-page... Yeah, here we go. Yes, Guy, exactly. The decision point was when I looked at a 4-page monster stat sheet and realised it was so complicated, I wouldn't like to run it, even if it was my character. Yes. Circumstances forced a move online. We got through 100-plus sessions of Pirates of Drainax. Drainax sounds like something you use to clean your
Underwear.
drains. Well, for
Drainax
you,
is
Paul.
the
Same
the
thing in
pirate
Paul's
one.
case.
Not your carbon-impregnated underwear or whatever it is.
Carbon's not
Carbon-enhanced.
strong enough.
We got through 100-plus sessions of Pirates of Drainax. We plan to make a return to Age of Worms before the end of the year. Geography now dictates it will be on Roll20 than face-to-face. Rather than jump back in with high-level 5e characters, I'm winding them back to 6th level, and I'm going to start a small side trip to 5e Vault of the Drow, followed by the later parts of the Temple of Emmental Evil. It's like the Temple of Elemental Evil, but with cheesy plot holes that bring them back to the Age of
Oh,
Worms.
very good.
Very good. Sorry, I know I'm breaking the Billowing Hilltop email etiquette rules by not sending an expletive. As an alternative, I offer an insult in Old Scots, usable if you ever have a dwarf who won't keep up. Bugger off, Guy. I think we all know who you're talking about. You can call him a Shockley Bockle. I look forward to hearing...
Shockley Bockley?
It's Shochly Bochle. Anybody want to try that in a Scottish accent?
I think you should do the whole email in a Scottish accent, actually.
I look forward to hearing, reading
Start
the attempted
again.
pronunciation. Well, you were looking forward in vain, Guy. Keep up the good work. Many thanks for the many hours of entertainment.
Oh, that's a nice
Roleplay.
idea.
I've just
Entertainment.
googled
Thank you very
Pirates
much.
of Drinax. It's
Yeah.
quite good, actually.
Right.
I've got
So
it.
it's a traveller adventure. You've got it.
Yeah, it's the one where you're pirate.
Arr. Clues in the name.
Looks really good. 600 pages of adventure. It says it's got Aslan characters, so Dan could do that.
You could actually be one.
Best regards, Guy. Thank you, Guy. That's excellent. P.S. Definitions: a bockle or a bockley. A bockle, I'm saying bockle, is a person
Bockle.
short of the legs, flat-soled, and above all, unwieldy round the buttocks, which causes an impediment in walking.
That's
Brilliant.
Paul.
And a shockle
Oi.
is to walk without lifting the feet, to shuffle, shamble, walk in an ungainly, heavy-footed manner, which is me. Well, there we are. Thank you, Guy. That's absolutely brilliant. Should we recap where we were? Shall I recap where we were?
Go on,
Fighting ropers, do you
do.
remember?
Oh, ropers, yes.
I was about to do a misty step, and you then quit.
You're in the crystal maze
mid-round.
trying to do enough mental and physical challenges. Collecting crystals. You're trying to get green crystals from a clearing full of ropers, and there was a bit of pinball with Uncle Buggy. Where we left things, Scaly had been grabbed by a roper and had decided to use his bonus action to cast Misty Step to escape its clutches.
Oh, that's right, and it wasn't going to work.
Well, no. Actually, as it happens, Scaly,
Did I say that out loud? God,
Yes.
Sorry.
you get the opportunity to travel further than you were expecting, should
Oh.
you so wish.
What? It is enhanced?
Something's going on.
Hmm.
At the point where you're trying to work out where you want to go, you realise that, whoa, you could reach so much further than you used to be able to. You can only go to where you can see, but you could,
Yeah.
60, 70, 80 feet, you could go further.
Well, in which case, gonna go.
You're going to zap as far as you can away north.
Yeah.
Purple on 5.
Well, I'm just going to move up to join the rest of them.
Should we drop out of round sequence?
You.
Why not?
You can flee the area,
I mean, we don't flee.
and your retreat takes you
Back up too.
more of a route than a retreat to
I don't know.
back to the
I think it's
back
really
to the-
unfair.
safe haven of the area with the blue crystals, where there are
Sorry.
just loads of broken ones.
Did anybody else kill one of the ropers? Sorry, was it just me?
Well, actually, mostly it
Ropers.
was me.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I
fatal
killed two
blow,
of them.
face to
I
face,
think I
toe to
killed
toe.
them. Oh,
I
no.
killed 2 of them. How many did you kill?
You killed 2 of them.
Five.
How many
Yeah.
how many green gems did you get?
Anyhow, I'm going to drop a couple more
Sorry,
lightning
small thing,
bolts on that one that's sticking out the corner, Mike, before I withdraw.
Can I do a short rest?
Stung. Session stays behind.
Yeah, I've got to kill something.
calling lightning for the full 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Rejoins everybody and just goes.
You see?
There we go.
Sessions you can spend as long as you like zapping bulges.
Cool. Just spend a couple of rolls and wipe out
Yeah,
another
you
one.
can
and
kill one. If,
Okay.
if you feel that honor needs to be satisfied, you can kill one. But
Yeah.
I think we've established that you've got what you
Yeah,
needed.
good value
Right.
for money out of that spell, and I'll join the others.
What next?
Right.
So
My little chickadees.
So do we think it's different colours or the same colours and we need blue?
I think we should try different colours. The only question I'd have about these blue crystals
We've got red, green and blue.
is, do they look like they're totally crushed
No, they're
in
fragments.
that they're effectively powder? So do the fragments look like you could piece the fragments together to make the same shape as the red or the green
Yeah, I
crystals?
mean, the crystals are not uniform in shape, even the ones that are
Yeah,
intact.
might not need to.
Right, okay. So we basically take a red crystal, a green crystal, and then a much blue crystal as we have red and green crystal, and put each of those in one of the
Just
receptacles.
a thought.
Yeah.
It's possible that the crushed blue crystals are the result of actually doing the thing. Did we find blue crystals anywhere else?
No.
No.
Let's just think a bit like Mike thinks, which is
I didn't write this.
if it's going to work with one of each colour, we don't have to be too kind of prescriptive.
We don't know what they do.
No, but we could just put them on and find out.
Can I just do a short rest first?
Yeah, short rest would be a good idea.
I'm getting to long rest territory.
Oh, long rest is always
Long
nice.
rest would be good as well.
I don't mind doing a long rest if we need to.
I'm just thinking once we open up this hatch or whatever it's going to be,
Yeah, the other
We're
party
going to
might
be
be there.
straight into, maybe
hang on,
even
man.
this
Haven't
other
we got some
party will
time? There's some time
emerge.
thing.
Well, they could emerge having done it, of course, if we spend a long
Yes, well,
rest.
there's always that.
Okay, these guys are scary. These guys have a
Mm-hmm.
hand of Veshna and Thortharmon's organ request. I think we need to be punching at full strength when we encounter them, ideally. But if we wait and take a long rest, then, like Graham says, they might complete it, but maybe they're missing something.
Yeah,
That's the dilemma.
We could augury.
we could do.
Ah,
Just before, or we could
I
even
like that,
commune.
yeah.
Yes, commune.
Find out whether we've got enough time to take a long rest.
And whether we need some blue crystals.
Yeah.
How
Well,
many
that would
questions
be,
you
yeah.
get? How many questions?
Is it 3 questions?
Yeah. And whether everyone should give me their magic.
Did we establish that every single one of the blue crystals in that field was
No, we didn't.
crushed?
We didn't really go in
Or
there.
was it just like the ones we could see? I mean,
we
now
didn't-
we've established there
Did
were
I
lots and
I
lots
was
of
running a
green ones.
detect magic, wasn't I?
Someone did a detect magic.
Yeah, maybe it was you. Mike, what did we pick up? Did we pick up something from one of the base of one of the statues, didn't we?
That was the crystals.
The blue ones.
Yeah, the blue ones. All of them have a magical aura. They all have a conjuration aura on them.
Conjuration.
And did we establish that every single one of the crystals, the blue crystals we found, were
Yes, so
all
you have-
crushed?
you have
or
not-
did we not
yes.
search?
You've exhaustively searched that area, and you can find not one
Good.
single intact blue crystal.
Okay.
Right.
Some are crushed, some are
Yeah.
just broken into fragments. So,
Tell me about the collapsed rocks that are superimposed on the map.
oh, well, you saw that before, Burple, in your earlier exploration. There's an area that's shaped, I think I described it as, it's like a Tetris piece or an Allen key.
Yeah.
That's one of the blocks
Yeah.
on the far northwestern extremes of the maze. That block is in less good nick, and the inner corner of that Tetris block has collapsed down into rubble. But I didn't have any rubble last time, so I've added some rubble.
Right.
Bony rubble.
Well, a mending spell would join bits of crystal together.
Well, we could spend a little bit of time and do the commune before.
How long does that take? Is it ritual?
A long rest would be good.
A long rest would be good. Yes.
I would propose to cast it as a ritual, so it would take 11 minutes.
That's fine.
Which is
A short rest.
short rest.
That would give Buggy his short rest.
Yeah. So you do the ritual cast. Everybody else gets a short rest in that time. And then we decide whether we
yeah.
can do a long rest. Sounds good to me.
Okay, what are your questions?
That's what we're just thinking.
So we got two
Okay.
questions so far.
What were your
Spurs
thoughts?
top of the league again? Yep.
2 points clear. Yeah.
Lovely.
I think that's not a question we actually need to answer.
No.
No.
Got a crow before it all dies. Comes crashing down, haven't we?
Yeah, you got to enjoy it briefly
Don't
before
get
the
opportunity.
misery.
for long. Yeah.
Sorry, is but Tottenham the top of the Premiership?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Anyway,
So what do we want? What are we thinking the questions? Do we need blue crystals? Do we need different coloured crystals?
Do we need blue crystals? Is there a way for us to get blue crystals? Are they available on this island?
I guess if we have multiple crystals, we can just try colour combinations. We don't need to ask if we need colour combinations.
We've only got 14 green ones, though, haven't we? So, have we got time to take a
thought
long
our
rest?
first
Graham has to
question-
ask them, so we'll discuss, and then Graham will announce
Yeah.
that he's asking a question.
Yeah.
Um,
We could ask a question about the time.
what do you mean?
what time is it?
Do we have enough time
Well, that's
to
what I mean.
rest?
Yeah,
Time
I
in
think
what
we
for
should.
8 hours?
Do we have enough time in what respect?
Do we have enough time to have a long rest and still achieve our goal
Yes.
in this place?
Yeah, I like that. That's quite a good one.
Are you going to ask?
Yeah,
it,
let's.
Graham?
We'll ask that as the first question, Mike.
Yes.
Okay, so we can take the long rest. Cool.
We might ask, is it safe to take a long rest here? Something about blue crystals, something about...
Something. I mean, it could be that we need other crystals. That's what we haven't found yet. Do we need intact blue crystals?
Do we need more than 20
Yeah,
crystals of
This,
each colour?
this circle disc thing,
Yeah.
does it have its indentations?
It has
Yeah, it's
three.
got three indentations.
Three
on it.
indentations. So we probably need
Yeah.
a blue one. We need to find
A
some
red
blue
one, a
ones.
green one, and a blue one.
Yeah.
That's my guess. But
Well, we
That's-
could be
that
very
would be
specific.
my
Do we
guess.
need a red one, a blue one, and a green one to activate the disc thing? That could be a question.
yeah, and also the question would be: do the crystals need to be intact to operate the mechanism or something.
Oh, so they might. Yeah, you're right. They might operate with just a piece of one.
Yeah.
My understanding from what Mike told us last week is these are 3 indentations, and they were in no way crystal shaped, if you get what I mean. It wasn't like a gem that, an octagonal gem that had an octagonal hole. It was just 3 sort of crucible type receptacles. And we tried putting 3 red gems in and nothing happened. So the next guess would be to put in a red, green and a blue one. Or 2 pieces of a blue one.
I think
a whole red one. And a whole
my
green
guess
one.
would be that we
See
need
what
to find
happens.
we need to find somewhere there are intact blue ones, and we need to find those.
Well, should we ask that question? Do we need to find intact blue crystals?
Why not?
Okay.
Do it.
What's the question?
Do we need to find intact blue crystals?
Yeah.
Do we need to find intact blue crystals?
Do we need to possess intact blue crystals?
Do we need to possess
Do we
intact
need to
blue
put a fully formed blue crystal into the receptacle?
For it to work.
Yes.
So we need a fully formed blue crystal.
Yeah,
Yeah, but mending.
Do we
we
have
haven't
that?
got it.
Who can do mending?
I can learn it if I have a long rest.
Can
I'm
we?
wondering.
I'll learn it and pray
Okay,
for it.
so
Right.
I'm wondering about this rubble.
Or we could just ask other intact blue crystals in the rubbly area with the statues.
How many more questions have we got?
One.
That's the last one.
Have we got fully formed green and red then?
Yes.
Yes. Mending
Why don't you just ask if there are...
repairs a single
Fully.
break or tear in an object you touch, such as a broken chain link, 2 halves of a broken key, torn cloak, or a leaking wineskin.
So we can probably make them.
Why don't you ask if there's a blue crystal within, 100 foot of, 200 foot,
100 foot or 200 foot?
100 foot, 200 foot of the device?
Yeah, that'll clear it up.
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
Very specific.
So is there an intact blue crystal within 130 feet of my current location?
No.
Right. So there's not one in the top half of the map.
Unless it's underground.
Yeah. Guess the next step is if we take the long rest, we learn mending.
Yeah.
Well, if we're taking a long
Put the
rest,
blue
we could
crystal
burn some
back together
spells.
again. Yeah.
Yes. We can do a few more things if we wanted.
We did do a
Every
short
time I
rest,
look
though,
at my
don't
spell list, it's missing stuff.
Maybe we need to think about what kind of spells we might want for the next phase.
Doesn't affect me because
Does affect me, though.
Fixed list. What's this we?
Well, myself and the altar boy.
Who's got mending?
It's a cantrip, so we could learn mending overnight.
Mike, there are 2 halves that seem to fit together to form a whole.
I think we can
Yes.
say that in all of the different fragments and bits, there are certainly some clearly identifiable broken crystals where you can see that 2 halves clearly fit together to make an intact one. Yeah.
Okay, so that-
How big is this disc? Could we all fit on it?
Yes.
All right. So potentially we only need
It's a
one.
squeeze.
you might not necessarily need to join the 2 halves together. You could just stick it into the receptacle, the 2 bits.
I thought the commune just told us that we do need
An
an
intact.
intact.
A whole one, yeah.
Did we say intact?
You said intact.
So we should learn mending overnight, I think, unless we've got another way of doing it.
I've got a wish. No, I haven't really.
We've all got a wish, Dan.
I think that's the only way I could do it.
What's the plan, Stan?
Yeah, what's the plan, Stan?
Are you taking a long rest?
No need to be coy, Roy. Yes.
Are you learning different spells? Or are you not?
Well, I'll memorize mending.
Okay. There seems to be very little sense of time passing on the island. It's like a weird stasis sort of thing. It's always pretty dark, constant cloud cover. Occasionally you hear kind of echoing through the maze towards you as the pirates are doing whatever they're doing down by the shore. You rest for 8 hours, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We press the long rest button then.
You can press the long rest button.
Nice.
Lovely.
Pressing the long rest button.
Confirmed.
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 Just one thing, we keep on ourselves at least as many of these blue crystal fragments as we think will fit together, and then
Got it. Understood.
even though we're
Completely
only going to
understood.
do mending on one of them.
Let's try mending them then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Can
one
you,
to
are
begin
you using the
with.
mending spell? Does it
Yes.
mend one object or multiple objects?
One.
One.
But it's a cantrip.
So I do 1 a minute until we've done 10.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fine. Why don't I say that you can make 14 whole crystals, exactly the same number as you've got green crystals.
That's handy.
Incredibly convenient.
And how many red crystals?
We've got unlimited.
You got 100 red crystals.
Okay.
100 red crystals, because we've got all of them.
Right. Shall we share them out?
Right.
So everybody
In-
has...
roll for them.
Yes.
No, I'm joking.
No.
Roll for choice.
No, divide them.
So everybody has 2 of each colour.
Yes.
And then
Right.
somebody else carries the rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we use ones. We all get onto the disc when we're ready.
I'll carry the
And we
rest
use the
in my
spare
handy have a
ones.
sack.
We use
And
the
we
spare
use some
ones
spare ones to try
start
the
Yes.
machine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
We're mitigating, Mike. That's what we're doing.
this all makes perfect
Yeah.
sense to me.
Yeah.
You're placing, if you'll pardon the pun, to be crystal clear,
Yes.
you are all squeezing onto this disc.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you are placing a crystal of each colour in one of the
Yes.
3 apertures.
Yes.
Yes. And if this ends the adventure,
Well, something happens.
You all die.
You've got 3 crystals in there, yeah? So it's 15 seconds. The dome closes over you and loads of golden tickets get blown with a fan up.
Just golden ones.
Don't grab any silver ones. Have any of you not got a neutral component to your alignment?
Ooh.
Oh, I don't like questions like that.
Ooh.
sorry, not got
What's
a
your
neutral
alignment?
Do you have a
knows? My
neutral
God.
component to your alignment?
I have
I don't even know where it is on the
don't need
character
to-
sheet anymore.
Under
Don't need to know your
description.
alignments. You don't need to say them out loud. I just need to know if you've got neutral somewhere in your alignment, then I'm not interested. But if you haven't, let me know.
If you look
I
under
do.
description.
I do.
Yeah, description.
You do.
I
I
do.
do.
Buggy,
I do.
who wants to be a millionaire? Parker.
Lawful neutral.
Okay, then I have no more information for you on that score.
Lawful neutral. That means you could be evil.
What?
Well, if you're lawful neutral, you can be tending towards evil, can't you? Evil or good.
Eh?
Well, no, then you'd be lawful evil.
Well,
if you were
but you
tending
could be
towards
anything.
Evil.
No, but you're not necessarily a good person, are you?
No,
Yes,
you believe in
lawful
law,
and-
though. The-
Lawful.
Being
believe in
in
law.
law, but it
You're
could
a
be
monk.
lawful.
Yeah, you could be obsessed with discipline and order.
But you could be doing something
You have
evil
to differentiate
in a lawful
yourself from a paladin in some way or other. What you're
No, but
saying
you're
is
not.
anybody who's not pure lawful good is then suddenly scaly or something.
No, I'm
Sounds
just
weird.
saying.
Let's not bring Scaly into
So
this.
anybody who's neutral is like also like could
well,
be
you're
evil.
neutral, aren't you? You're neutral.
Good
aren't you,
doesn't
Johnny? Yeah, but you
factor
may be-
into your alignment. Put it that way.
What's your alignment, Johnny?
Never you mind.
Never you mind.
So you could be
Neutral
you could be
neutral evil.
Neutral evil, yeah. Pure evil.
I'll just say lawful neutral.
Just saying.
Good doesn't factor in it necessarily.
I'm just saying.
Oh, that's
I'm
a
not
good spot,
applying
John.
anything, but I'm just saying.
Just trying to work out who's a goodie and who isn't.
Right.
Yeah, right. But you're not telling yours.
runes
So.
that chase the circumference of this disc start to whirl into each other, and they start to spin around the circumference at greater and greater speed, flowing into each other. The colours become white as they combine. Well done, Lucas. And there is a sudden shift in environment. The sound of the raging tempest is gone, replaced by a gentle wind carrying bird song.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, and the drone of buzzing insects. The sky above is overcast, yet it doesn't seem ready to storm. You are at the edge of a sprawling, dark forest, dense and overgrown.
Bit like Buggy.
Sounds like Dan.
Fills the view in one direction. We're going to call it south, the direction of this forest. You're right on the edge of it, a bit like the bit in Lord of the Rings where they're right on the edge of the what's it wood. Tall trees sag with branches heavy with moss, their dark eaves dropping to the ground in some places. From within comes a cacophony of insects and singing birds. Now and then a ghostly green glow appears within, only to fade moments later, as if whatever creature was generating the light was afraid to be seen. In the other direction, so let's say north, and you can kind of see off to your east and west, there are low grassy hills that eventually become a range of rocky, snow-capped, barren mountains. A flash of brilliant lightning ignites the sky above the mountains for a moment, and the distant peal of muted thunder echoes down the slopes a few moments later. Let me put you on a new map.
Ooh.
We're going to use just a single mini for the purposes of...
Party.
Yeah, because what we are in now
Ooh, hex.
is hex crawl.
So we can go in any direction we want.
Well, you can always go in any direction you want, Paul, but yeah. I've revealed a bit of detail to you. You can see the foothills of the mountains in the hexes that I've filled in, and you can see the edge of the forest with hexes that I've filled in. Again, we've got no compass, but let's just say off to your northeast, you can see, well, it doesn't look like the Lake of the Cold Sky anymore. It looks like blue ocean. And I'm saying actually I've been a little bit stingy there with the old revealment. I'm going to fill in some more
Hard to know how
hexes.
big a hex is.
Each hex, I think, is 4 miles. Might be 5 miles.
So we're in Kingmaker territory.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
You are in sort of Kingmaker territory, yes.
So you move into a hex, you search the hex, something happens.
Well, let's see about how all of that works out. There. So you can see you're in a strip of land that runs from your southeast to your northwest, bounded by sea at either end, with a forest that you're standing in the eaves of to your south, and with a range of low hills that climb up to become mountains to your northeast. Let me tell you about a couple of other things. First thing I should tell you is that Burple,
Yes.
you feel like a part of yourself is missing. You feel like you've left a part of yourself behind. Not that bit. Like a bit of metaphysicalness
well, I will
of
check
yourself is not present. You can't really...
What spells can't you do?
Let's not get into too much of that. Colours are very vivid. It's like somebody's hit the old Instagram filter. The colours are super saturated and vivid. The buzzing of the insects and the bird song is unnaturally kind of crisp and supernaturally audible. Like your hearing has been kind of enhanced. You can feel a kind of general energy thrum through you all.
Do we think we're on the prime material plane?
Well, that is a good question.
Can we still contact
Doesn't-
our gods?
You can feel the connection to your deity sessions, yes. And you, Buggy, can feel the connection to Irisi Bearclaw.
Greasy bear claw.
Yeah. Everything is like, hi. It's almost like you're on a drug or something.
All of us.
All of you. Buggy, you hear a voice in your head say,
How long am I going to have to stay in here? I'm getting quite bored.
Cheeseman.
Cheeseman. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I probably forgot to open the thing. Let some air in.
So he's dead.
Cheeseman's head
Cheeseman.
pops out,
Oh, hello,
and
Cheeseman. Sorry, I got to open
in
the...
common, he says,
It's very boring in there. There's no cheese for starters, and there's really nothing else to do. Can I get out?
and he kind of hops down on the ground, looks up at you all and goes,
Pleased to meet you.
raises a little pink paw thing, whatever
Oh, I
rats
can
have.
talk. Can I talk to Cheeseman?
It sounds like he can talk to
He
us.
can
at the
talk to
moment.
you.
My name is Cheeseman.
Oh.
Well, that's very nice to meet you, Cheeseman. I'll shove him back in the bag of holding.
I see.
Oh, bloody hell.
No, all right. I'll take him out now. Go on. I was only
Oh,
joking.
this is interesting.
Go on, have your say, Cheeseman. What do you want to say? Get it off your chest.
You don't have to have even just a little crumb of cheese.
Yeah, I'll give him some cheese. I've got some posh cheese, I think.
You stole everything you could
Yeah,
find
yeah.
at the banquet.
You've stuffed your pockets with cheese as well, Sessions.
Oh, I always have cheese.
It's unusually pungent and tasty,
Oh, it's absolutely delicious.
says Cheeseman. And he sort of does a hop skip up onto your arm, Buggy. It's only 6 inches off the ground. Scuttles up, sits on your, let's call it a shoulder, for the want of a better word to describe it. Says,
Well, then, where are we going? This is interesting.
Do you know where we are?
No idea. I do like it, though. I feel, different.
How tall are the trees?
oh, regular height, I would say.
Right.
I mean, how tall are trees? 30
Well,
feet?
what kind of trees are they?
Well, they don't look like normal trees.
So
Right.
it's just
Okay.
me that feels that something's missing, not Graham.
Just you
Not-
that
not
feels that
Sessions.
something is missing,
Right.
not Sessions, no.
Okay.
And it's very difficult, literally impossible, in fact, to put your finger on what it is.
Can you
is
cast a
missing.
cantrip?
What
No,
was
it's,
the?
it's not.
give me a-
It's unlikely to be a spell.
Was it not your sort of super
Yeah.
misty stepping you were doing?
Well, I don't seem to have that anymore. I
Oh.
did it a couple of times and then.
So your heritage, your
Yeah,
that's,
it's
you know,
something to do
Windjuke
with that.
heritage.
Yeah, probably cut off.
the trees around you are black when you peer into the bosky duskness of the forest.
The bosky
They appear to
duskness. Is that a word? What is that?
It's a word. Bosky means forest-like, and duskness is
Is it?
just a word I made up meaning duskness. The trees do seem to be shifting a little unnaturally. They don't necessarily seem to be at the bid of the prevailing winds. And it looks like you wouldn't have to take many steps into the forest before the canopy would block out all of the light. We really are sort of in serious kind of Mirkwood territory. Again, every now and again, deep in the darkness of the trees, you see a sudden little flash, little glow of green that then quickly dissipates.
Is there any kind of path?
Nope, nothing.
Literally just in vegetation.
There's vegetation all around you. You're on grassland, kind of prairie. There is the occasional dotted lone tree around you. There's a lone pine standing right next to you. Out of it steps a person.
Ooh.
Let me show you a picture.
Hello.
Is he some kind of Semaphore Man? Or this
Yes.
flag waving?
Semaphore
was it the
Man.
giant S on his costume that gave him away?
Is this something to do with the flags to do with the gem colours?
Let's not read too much into the picture. Out steps this individual, followed by, emerging from the shrubs and the vegetation around you, 3 other individuals. I haven't got 3 more pictures. They all look basically the same as that. This figure stands and regards you for a moment, and then says,
I am Telanthros, guardian of this realm. Welcome to the last resort.
and he kind of gestures around just the everythingness around you.
We,
And he encompasses his weird vegetation stepping friends,
are the last resort,
also as surely as the trees.
and stones and sea and air around you. We protect the secrets of this island from all trespassers. You have mastered the portal of storms, and therefore must be brave. But it remains to be seen if you belong here at all. Why have you come to the last resort?
We seek the library.
The library?
Its eyes brighten.
You seek the Fountain of Dreams, although you do not yet know it. The
Right.
fountain is linked to all things here. In the last resort, the earth, the dark trees of the Doom Shroud,
He indicates the dark trees of the Doomshad.
the clouds above, my life, and that of my brothers are all part of it. If the waters are consumed, the order of the storm's right is undone. The secrets kept from the world will be released, and the great creatures of legend and present here on this isle shall be unleashed upon the material plane once more. You say you are heroes? This remains to be seen.
I don't think
Accomplish 4 tasks and prove yourselves to be the heroes of old return. The fountain shall not be despoiled lightly.
Righto.
Okay.
What are the 4 tasks?
The creature looks at his 3 companions. Back to you.
The Fountain of Dreams shall know those destined for its gifts in but one way. It will know them by the trials of Telagos. Survive these trials, and you may slake your thirst on what you seek. Fail, and the last resort shall be your grave. I am Telanthros, and the first trial is the claiming of Krathanos' golden belt.
Of course it is.
Looks at you like it means something.
Right.
The second of the quartet of creatures speaks up next.
We need a good voice, man, Mike.
I am Veskawan,
Oh, not bad.
and the second trial is the silence of the Doom Shroud's mournful song. The third speaks, I am Thadimar, and
Sorry?
the third trial is the death of the Thornvale Nightmare. And finally, the last creature speaks, and
I am Siren Lee, and the final trial is the harvest of the living feather of the Rock King.
King.
Telanthros speaks again.
These trials complete, return here, and we shall show you the Fountain of Dreams. Until then, we shall watch and wait.
And they start to kind of meld back into the vegetation.
I asked if they could point us towards the first trial.
Give me what is it? Persuasion check, diplomacy check. Somebody give me a check.
For how much?
Persuasion.
Wow. We might as well just stop this now.
Do you know what I mean?
We've reached our zenith.
22.
22. Let me just check the
very
DC.
Can I do a persuasion as well?
Sure. What are you saying, though?
Point us to the first trial.
Okay, so two of you are both saying the same thing.
Sessions beats me.
Okay.
No. The trials you must find yourself. It is a test of your so-called heroism.
Have others been here before us?
Oh,
It looks around.
where did this voice come from?
Down here.
Oh,
Looks down. He talks to Cheeseman.
repeat your question, please.
Cheeseman points at you.
I know it was this thing.
This thing.
The Ifrit was before us. Where is he? Did he undertake the quest with his companions?
Oh, all traces of pirate are gone from your voice, I notice.
Answer me, you fool!
You speak of the hand of the Lich Lord. He has come to Tilagos with his flock, including the Ifrit that you speak of, seeking knowledge, as you do. Even as you linger, they seek to complete the tasks we have named. If they outspeed you, then the secrets of the fountain are theirs. Who claims the secrets of the fountain matters little to us, for once these secrets are claimed, our role in the last resort has come to an end.
And then he fades back into the tree.
Right, so what did he say again?
He steps back out of the tree again.
This is becoming quite wearying.
What did he say? Well, I don't know. You have to remember it, innit?
We have to remember it.
The Feather of the Rock King
But that's not how this game works.
was the last one.
Yeah. Something about a belt.
The Belt of something or other, yeah.
You want the library? It turns out to be a fountain. Want to drink from the fountain? You got to do the 4 tasks
Complete the set.
Yeah.
from the 4 weird people.
Right.
They seem to have some kind of sequence, but friend guide storyteller,
They don't.
I don't think the sequence matters one bit. Shall I tell you in brief what the 4 tasks were? The claiming of Krathanos' golden belt.
Yeah.
The silence of the Doom Shroud's mournful song.
Doom Shadow be in the water.
Then there was the death of the Thorn Vale nightmare.
That'd be in
And
the
then
woods.
there was the harvest of the living feather of the Rock King.
That'd
be the
in
mountain.
That'd be in the mountains.
Earlier on, Tilanthos, when he mentioned the Doom Shroud, gestured at the forest that you were standing next to.
Right.
Can I use the survival check to see if there's any tracks?
Do.
So I get +7 onto this. 22. Any tracks of the Ifrit and his crowd?
There don't seem to be any tracks from shod feet or anything like that, but there is a myriad of tracks from wildlife, and the spoor of wildlife all seems a little bit bigger than you would. So, for example, you might see the tracks that you recognize from your mountain experience, Buggy, of an ibex. The hoof prints are bigger. Seems outsized. It's a bit like Pliocene or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The megafauna thing.
Mm.
As you cast your gaze around you, you can see the occasional creature grazing the steppe, and maybe that there's a kind of Father Ted, small, far away perspective thing going on. But actually, that elk might actually be quite a lot further away than you thought, and is just absolutely fucking massive.
Right. Should we go into the woods first?
What do we think these things might be?
Anybody want to give me any kind of knowledge check on
Yeah, knowledge.
Krathanos? Anybody got any?
Thanos.
Give me
Bardic
give me,
knowledge.
History? Arcana?
Yeah. Knowledge,
Yeah,
history,
yeah.
bardic knowledge, whatever.
I
Yeah,
don't have any
yeah.
bardic knowledge. I've got Arcana.
No, we don't have knowledge.
Wait,
Yeah,
no, we're rubbish
there is
on
no.
knowledge skills. Yep, let's try
Arcana
history.
check.
Bit dim.
Purple gets a
Hey,
9
no.
with his Arcana.
I got 4. Bloody hell. Are we
and with
rolling
his
the same
history
coloured
gets
dice?
13 with his history.
History check. Okay. 17.
17.
Let me just see what you might learn. Let me just do a bit of whatever. Okay.
No, I got rubbish.
Okay. You think that Krathanos might be some kind of titan figure, some kind of giant that earned the displeasure of the gods.
Right.
It's just in the back of your mind, Parker. Anybody else want to think about specific things and ask questions? I don't know that there's much more to be gained here.
No, Scaly's getting impatient to get on. Let's get into the forest. In fact, he's going to go into the forest.
Can we
What's a...
find out anything about the Doom Shroud?
Well, it's a doom shroud, yeah.
You infer from the way that Talanthos was speaking that the Doom Shroud is the name of the forest.
Right.
Right.
He said something like, let me go back and find it. The Fountain of Dreams.
The fountain of dreams is linked to all things in last resort. The earth, the dark trees of the Doom Shroud,
And he gestured towards the forest.
Right.
the clouds above, my life and that of my...
Right, all of that.
So Scaly's heading into the forest.
Into the forest.
I'll follow Scaly, and I'm going to do a death ward on myself as usual.
Got dark vision.
Yeah, I've got my goggles of the night, and I'm going in.
It's very alien. It's not like any forest you've encountered before, Scaly, and you're a foresty, swampy
I am.
kind of person.
Yes.
The trees are either black or so dark a purple as to appear black. Do your goggles of night give you what? Monochrome vision? Is it like dark vision?
They are.
Retrieve the details, please.
Whilst wearing these dark lenses, you have dark vision out to a range of 60 foot.
So it's like you're wearing low light goggles or whatever. Yeah, it's all a bit. What's that game with the people who wear low light goggles and shoot people? Anyway, that. What's it called?
I know exactly what you
Low
mean.
Light Combat 4.
Oh,
It's like Black Ops or whatever it
Night
is.
vision goggles.
No, the game is not called Night Vision Goggles.
wasn't that character called Snake? Do you remember?
Snake!
Yes, what was that?
Metal Gear Solid.
That's the
Yeah.
one.
Metal Gear Solid. Whatever it is, it's that kind of effect. You're looking around. Every now and again, you can see what looks like a slightly outsized, but otherwise apparently normal forest creature. For example, you might startle a deer and you just catch the reflection of its eyes straight on in that monochrome view that you have, and then it darts off into the darkness. The trees, as I mentioned before, they don't seem to be being moved by the wind. They seem to be moving by themselves, not in a threatening way. They're not reaching for you, but it is unnerving. And you only have to step 50, 60 feet into the forest before the canopy has completely blocked out any light from above. Give me a perception check, Scaly. Who's with Scaly?
We're all going in.
We all are, aren't we?
You're all doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
18.
9.
You notice as you're looking at these trees that they seem to be weeping a kind of thick black ichor, like a sap. It seems to be oily.
Nowhere near it. Scaly's going to light a cigar and have his
Okay.
massive chopper in his hand and going to try and just calmly make his way into the forest. Perhaps to do a detect magic.
Can't believe I found that funny.
I just...
Detect magic.
Doesn't detect magic last like...
It lasts 10 minutes.
How big are the hexes?
4 miles. Which direction are you heading in?
Straight in.
Couple of hours worth of exploration, and we'll open up another hex.
I'm shoving the rat back in the bag.
You think Cheeseman's been awakened, Buggy. He seems to be perfectly intelligent and able to speak common. His personality doesn't seem to have changed an enormous amount. Cheese still seems to be like number 1 on the Cheeseman list of things.
He can sit on my shoulders if he wants.
It's a kind of Fey-wild thing, isn't it? They like the Fey, the Paizo lot.
Well, I'll ask Cheeseman, does he want to go on the big green thing's head or shoulders?
Knees and toes.
Is there any cheese there?
You can travel with me. I have cheese.
Ah, that sounds more civilized. A pocket maybe with a little bit of cheese, little crumbs of cheese and a bit of lint gathered in the corners maybe. Always improves the flavour, I find. Little pocket lint.
I'm going to take my axe out,
Oh,
ready to hit something.
Your axe, Buggy, feels diminished.
Bloody hell.
Oh, here we go.
The moment it's in your hand, it's like the signal that you're attuned to is dimmed.
Oh, hang on. Mike asked about neutral, didn't he? So it's something to do with that, isn't it? Is the Feywild neutral, sort of?
But isn't your axe from the woodsman or whatever?
It's probably slightly evil and not neutral.
What about my swords?
Yeah, my staff.
And my axe. No, it's only the axe of the Grey Woodsman.
Because it's an evil
Seems
artifact.
to be diminished.
I think it's some kind of connection with prime material pain. We're on another plane.
Are you continuing on your journey?
Yes, we're searching each hex as we move.
Yeah.
If you search, if you split up in a pattern and you make sure you cover each section of ground as you progress, instead of 2 hours to cover a hex, it's going to take you 4 hours to cover a hex.
That's fine.
Yeah.
More likely to find something.
And what are we trying to do here?
Well, it's a good question. I wondered about that. On we go.
No, I'm asking Lucas who wrote it down.
Yeah.
We're silencing the...
Silence
Doom
with the
Shroud's
Doom Shroud's mournful song.
Mournful
Yes.
song.
Yeah.
Okay. So do we need to be searching if we're going to hear something?
We're just kind of wandering around in a forest, but we should be listening for a song, shouldn't we?
We're just going to call this day 1, by the way. When you left Telagos Island, it was Tonge the 23rd of Thart. It was night, but now it's daytime, which is odd. And yeah, there's no sun to track in the sky.
Can I use the orrery as a timekeeper?
Can you
'Cause it
use
does
the
move on,
orrery
doesn't
as a... It does move on, but it's on an enormous macro scale. You wouldn't want to use it to time an egg, for example.
Wouldn't we?
Days.
Yes, you can track days. Well, we're going to just call this day 1, day 2. But it doesn't know what day it is.
Yeah, but from the day when the orrery is...
Yeah, completely. That's
I can
completely
see how the
fine.
orrery moves on.
It's a race, isn't it?
Relative days from now.
Yeah, I've got it. In the forest, there's absolutely no sense of whether or not night is falling. You don't know what time it was that you left, but is it still daytime outside the forest? You don't know. You've been in the forest now for 6 hours, and you've travelled in about 8 miles. So you're quite deep in the forest. Do you
We're
wanna
in a
keep
sort of
going?
race, aren't we, with the Afreed and his crowd? So I'm wandering randomly in a forest. It's probably not the best if it's taking that long.
Well, what's your suggestion?
I don't know, but it just looks a bit hit and miss. We could just be wandering around and not get anything.
Well, eventually, if you hit every square, you'll hit the right one.
Yeah.
But you're right. How do we find more direction?
It's spread out.
Commune.
Is it a bit dodgy going off by ourselves?
I don't think we want to do that.
Yes.
Pairs?
What do you want to do?
Mike, if I fly up on the sweepstake, yeah?
Yes. Through the canopy, yes.
Yes.
You can go up and up and up and up. At a certain point, you realise that even though you've got the sense of upward motion, you don't actually seem to be getting any higher off the ground.
Right.
But nevertheless,
How far does the forest extend?
I'm going to reveal the whole map to you. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a dreadful map. It's not as bad as the map that comes in the book, which is of such awful quality, but a new one had to be drawn up by me.
Right. Well, I fly down
The level of detail in the map that you have got in front of you is the same as the level of detail in the map in the book, though.
Yeah. And probably it's roughly what you could make out. Forest and then, something,
Yeah.
and mountains.
Readers, we're looking at a map of an island that is got a lobe to the northwest and a lobe to the southeast with a narrower waist in the middle. The southeastern lobe is dominated by the forest that the character's in. The northwestern lobe is dominated by a range of mountains and hills. Surrounding both those features, on all sides and out to the coast, are areas of grassland. In the very southern eastern corner of our island,
That's a ruin.
there seem to be some sort of dilapidated ruins or buildings. That is what Sessions can see from his vaunted viewpoint.
Why don't you fly over the forest? Why don't we fly over the forest rather than go?
We probably wouldn't
Let's see
see what
up
we're
here.
looking for.
Give me a perception check, Sessions.
23.
Right in the heart of the forest, there seems to be some kind of clearing. It's not huge. It is the only break in the trees you can see.
Okay. I make a mental note where that is.
Yeah, south of where you are, right in the heart of the forest.
Okay. I relay this to the others.
The canopy of the forest as you're above it. Brightly coloured butterflies flip leaf to leaf. Birds sing and soar and play. Brightly coloured monkeys leap from branch to branch. Up there it's lovely. Back down in the darkness with the others, you've got an idea of maybe something to go for. Are you heading south?
Yes.
Yes.
One other thing, Sessions. It was bright enough to see clearly by, but you getting the sense that you're dusk adjacent?
Right.
travelling without searching. In 2 hours, you can travel through a single hex. I think we agreed. How much longer do you want to keep pushing on? You've done 6 hours so far, and you think you're heading towards dusk.
Shall we camp?
Yeah, it might be sensible.
Okay.
Okay, you're going to set up camp.
Yeah.
You can light a fire, should you need it. We hand wave rations, but I presume you've got something to eat.
Yeah.
If not, you can eat buggy.
Not very tasty.
Boo.
You settle down, you start exchanging stories about your childhood. You really open up to each other about your inner minds, your fears,
No, we
hopes
don't.
and dreams.
Let's do that. It's role
We
playing for
tell
the next
ghost
6
stories
hours.
around the campfire.
I'm fan fictioning. As you're rolling out your bedrolls and settling down for hopefully a decent night's rest, it's very faint at first. It gets a little bit louder. You realise that it's not just something that you were imagining. This wail, this deep, disconcerting,
Mournful.
mournful wail starts to build and build. As the volume rises, you feel it start to grip at your very essence.
Can I counter song?
And we'll find out
Mm,
what effect this wail has upon
the
Is it a
mournful
blue
song.
whale or sperm whale? Killer
when
whale?
you pick things up next week.
Marvellous.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Very lackluster. Everybody, yeah, great. Yeah.
Massively lackluster.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. The Library of Last Resort and Age of Worms are copyright Paizo. The Library of Last Resort was written by Nicholas Logue. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening.
Welcome, I'm Bastet. I'll be running your operation. The project's official name is the Adventurers Research of Abnormal Civilian Experiences, or Project Arrowace for short, to investigate the unusual occurrences that have been happening everywhere recently. I've hired you all for your indisputable military prowess,
I'm going to be honest, I think we should run.
your academic expertise,
I don't know, I'm not a wizard in real life.
and your hands-on experiences.
Tentacles belong in the ocean!
I also lost all my food, so Delphi, in a few hours you might start looking really delicious.
Oh! Can everyone please roll for initiative?
Oh, I nearly cussed so hard.
Deck of Many Aces is an actual play podcast made by an all aromantic and asexual cast and crew. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or wherever else you listen to podcasts, releasing every other Friday. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Deck of Many Aces.